Why these NBA players think Kobe Bryant wasn't a legend. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to NBA Orb. Here's a look at some NBA players who didn't have good relations with Kobe. Number 1. Andrew Bynum. The relationship between Kobe Bryant and Andrew Bynum had quite a few ups and downs. Bryant would get angry at Bynum following games in his first few seasons for not giving enough effort. It took Bynum quite some time to develop as a difference maker. Bryant would call out Bynum for laziness. The two would get on the same page eventually, as Bynum played a huge role in Lakers winning the 2009 and 2010 NBA championships. Bryant does not put up with a lack of effort, which Bynum was guilty of. Kobe likely played a role in the Lakers trading Bynum away.
Yeah, I mean, he knows what he has to do. For Andrew, it's just, he's just getting better at it. That's all.
Number 2. D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell spent his first season in the NBA playing alongside Kobe Bryant and a company of the Los Angeles Lakers. The season was a disappointment as the Lakers weren't a winning team. Bryant's retirement dominated the season and it led him to controlling the offense. There were comments from Russell in his second season that implied his improvement was hindered by Bryant controlling the ball and not letting him develop. Russell had a horrible season in Los Angeles and was traded to Brooklyn Nets. Bryant did take some shots at a few of the young players on the team after retirement, showing they just didn't mesh. Number 3. Chris Mim. The first few years for Kobe Bryant after the Los Angeles Lakers traded Shaquille O'Neal provided a huge disappointment. Fans and critics went after Bryant for taking too many shots and not helping his teammates improve. Bryant would rebound a few years later after the Lakers added Pau Gasol, but his teammates before that time were trashed. Chris Mim was one of the role players that Bryant trashed. Bryant flat out replied to critics, calling him selfish by asking if he was supposed to pass the ball to Mim. Lakers management hoped Mim's potential as a former lottery picker would be fulfilled by playing Bryant, but hoped Kobe had no time for him. Number 4. Karl Malone. Kobe and Karl had a true friendship, much more than teammates, and both of them developed a good relationship. While Karl was playing for the Lakers at the end of his career, they spent time together privately, and the families grew close. It all changed when Malone made a comment towards Kobe's wife, Vanessa, that made her so uncomfortable she talked to Kobe about it. The story goes like this. Malone was wearing cowboy boots and a hat, not uncommon for him. Vanessa Bryant saw him and asked, "What are you hunting?" referring to the outfit. Malone replied, "I'm hunting for little Mexican girls." Before marrying Kobe, Vanessa Bryant was Vanessa Cornejo or Beata. Kobe wasn't happy. Kobe dismissed the opportunity of a misunderstanding, saying that if his wife felt so uncomfortable, she told him and called Malone's wife to talk about it. He must have crossed a line. It turned out this wasn't the first time Karl made comments towards Vanessa Bryant, according to her. Number 5. Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard only spent one season in Los Angeles, but that monumental failure of 2012-13 season had seemingly followed the 8-time All-Star for the latter portion of his career. And it's difficult to look back at Howard's decline without thinking of the soft run-in with Bryant after Howard was traded to Houston. Howard was asked about his time with the Lakers in an interview on The Fair Game with FS1's Christine Leahy. The now Grizzlies center specifically brought up the moment that said that he hated Kobe at the time for those remarks. Kobe said, "He had a comment about me being soft, and I think for years I kinda hated him for saying that because I looked at it the wrong way. I think he was more so talking about my mentality, not my physique, not how I am on the court, like my edge. And I didn't realize that because of the noise surrounding him saying I was soft, and I hated it. I hated him for that moment, but I realized what he was talking about."
I didn't have a personal problem with Kobe. I just think that we were on two different levels mentally.
Number 6. Smush Parker.
That was tough.
If you do look at that lineup, you do understand it.
See, I'm not even.
The Kobe and Smush Parker open feud began in 2009 when Parker called playing with Bryant an overrated experience. Smush averaged 11.3 points per game during his 2 main seasons as Bryant's backcourt partner. Though the Lakers made the playoffs in both seasons, Parker's Lakers career came between the team's 2 title runs. The fight aggravated in one of the NBA seasons as Parker states that, "Kobe told me one day at practice, I tried to talk to him outside of basketball, and he looked at me in practice, 'You need more accolades under your belt before you come talk to me.'" Kobe Bryant even said in the interview about the MVP highlighting him and saying that Smush Parker was the worst. During their time together, Kobe and Parker were frequently and publicly frustrated with one another on the court. In 2012, years after Smush's final NBA game, Bryant said Parker shouldn't have been in the NBA, but the Lakers were too cheap to pay for a point guard. This brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.